Congratulations to our first ISA medalists of the day. The women just put on a show for the last week straight. Women surfing enjoying a record-breaking number in attendance. Now we move on to the men's grand final. Kanoa Igarashi, Jeremy Flores, Hiroto Ohhara, and Joan Duru. Two surfers representing Japan, two surfers representing France. What's going to happen at the end of this heat to our overall standings? You're going to have to wait and see. We have 30 minutes on the clock. Chris Cote here with Kale Carranza. Each story in this heat has really blossomed since day one. It's not like anyone had an easy run all the way to finals day. All these surfers had to fight, and there is a unique tale to every surfer currently sitting in the lineup. Kanoa Igarashi coming here pre-qualified for the Olympic Games. Joan Duru sitting on a team that's already locked and loaded. So before we started off here in the men's final, let's go down to Shannon Hughes with a gold medalist, Sally Fitzgibbons.
A huge congratulations, Sally Fitzgibbons. You are officially the first surfer to ever win 3 ISA gold medals. Tell us what you're feeling in this moment.
That's crazy, because like this is a whole nother competitive battle. Yeah, it's about the surfing and you got to surf hard, but to work your way through, like, I think it was like 13 heats or something in a row is just wild at a place I'd never surfed. So it was the ultimate challenge. And thinking back, I started the ISAs, this is like, you know, your roots, this is where you grow up, and 18 years later, it's pretty cool to take gold again.
We're so proud of you. Talk to us about what it's like to represent Australia in this moment heading to the Olympics.
Oh, it's just so cool, it's so special. I'm so patriotic. We don't get many opportunities to obviously have that team spirit, and now the Olympic Games are here. We've just slowly been building and building as a team. I had great support on the beach and my teammates, just to have them down here clapping for you, cheering for you, and flying the flag. It's sick.
Now in the surfing world, you've got a unique experience. You already competed at the Youth Olympics. You've already got some gold medals there. Tell the surfing world what we can expect heading into the Olympic Games.
Oh, to tell you the truth, there's so many hurdles still to jump. I'd love to say I know what it's going to be like, but I've never been to Olympic Games, only Youth Olympics for running. But man, there's a lot of adrenaline, a lot of hard work goes into it, but when you actually get to the occasion, it's all about letting go, just trusting in your performance, and I've just got such a good environment to always better myself. And so big shout out, I know my mum, my dad, and all my best mates are watching. I think it's like midnight, but we did it, won gold, yoo-hoo!
There we go, the ISA gold medalist, Sally Fitzgibbons, going to the Olympics. Back to you guys.
Love the sentiment there. She didn't say, I did it. She said, we did it. It takes a team. It takes the backing of your entire nation to get yourself in this position. And Sally Fitzgibbons, a class act, an incredible ambassador to surfing. Now she will be representing Team Australia in the Olympics, one of the Irakanjis.
Look at far up.
What a story.
How far up her wax on her surfboard is.
He has to.
Surfers doing big maneuvers. Back in the day, you didn't see that really, that wax line go past the upper third of the surfboard. But Sally Fitzgibbons has improved on her performances. We heard from her time and time again throughout the course of the week saying that you have to adapt. And, well, she is an incredible performer, showing us different kinds of maneuvers, electric over the lip, and, well, a well-deserved first place finish in this event.
Make room in the history books for Sally Fitzgibbons. Now here we go, a guy who's just got the best news of his life, making the Olympic team for Japan, Hiroto Ohhara. It's got to be tough to put that competitive mindset back into your brain after having it absolutely blown by the incredible fight for that second and last spot on the Japanese Olympic team, the last spot in the Olympics. Only 20 surfers out of millions will get the opportunity to compete on the men's side of the draw in the upcoming Olympic Games. The women will have 20 as well. Sally Fitzgibbons will be one of them. Make room in the history books for Sally, along with Don Fraser and Ian Thorpe, iconic medalists for Team Australia. 24:45 to go.
And an important heat for both countries. First place will get you 1,000 points. Second, 860. So there's a big gap regarding points from second to first. And when you think of fourth position, only 670, so almost half the points. Very important for these countries to get their surfers in the first and second position to overtake everyone else in the leaderboard. We talked about how important it is to get the teams, or to come here as a team, I should say, and win it as a country, as we saw an unforced error there. And Kanoa Igarashi sticking to his plan. Beautiful connection with that first part of the wave. Runs away from him. He said it in an interview earlier. It's a tougher wave to surf, but it's easier to get those bigger scores. Kanoa and Hiroto looks like they're really focusing on the right-hander. Joan and Jeremy on the lefts. Now, plenty of time, 30 minutes. Things could change. Tide will move up a little bit, almost a foot during the time they're out there. So that means that surfers are going to have to adapt. They're going to have to make sure that if they see Kanoa, who you see on your screen on the bottom half, get good scores, they're all going to slowly start gravitating towards that right-hander. But La Bocana, over the last few days, has been primarily a left, and it has been giving surfers the opportunity to get big scores. Now, with this high tide, Chris, there is a little bit of jumble and bubble in the water. It'll be interesting to see if it's the lefts overall that are better in 30 minutes or the rights.
Surfers are really like, moths to a flame. They go wherever they feel like the most energy is in the lineup. These four surfers have done the hard work to get here. Sally Fitzgibbon saying after winning that last final, she surfed over 13 times through this event. You think of any other contest in the world, you maybe surf 6, maybe 8 times. The ISA World Surfing Games, a real test to the endurance that these surfers have trained for the better part of their competitive lifespans. 22:28 to go. Igarashi with a 4 and a .43. Kanoa said earlier, it is team over self at this point. Of course, he would love to bring home an ISA gold medal, but he's saying it's all about the team now, putting up points, fending off the other countries.
Big bash.
And this is going to be big in the scoreline for Kanoa Igarashi. A little signal to the beach. Go Kanoa. That's what he's telling the judges. I like that combo right there. Nicely done.
He is sitting so far away from all the other competitors, really focused on that right-hander at La Bocana. Let's have a look from above how far away he was. Other competitors nowhere near where Kanoa was sitting. The spray coming up and through the lip line. 3 big maneuvers. A little quick claim for Kanoa. This is the angle that we wanted to see, a smaller inside wave. But look at the line it has on it. Big, explosive, over the lip surfing, gliding his tail up and above. So that was a very difficult maneuver. Smaller wave, but a lot of variation. Top to bottom flow all the way through. Judges are going to love that, and it is going to be the best score of the heat thus far, and at a crucial time. You think of 30 minutes in this heat, you want to make sure you apply the pressure onto other competitors quickly. And well, Kanoa Igarashi, as you see him paddling on screen, he's not paddling towards other competitors. He's paddling out to the horizon because there's still plenty of waves on offer here at La Bocana.
Yeah, Kanoa's right has been helping him all week long get through these tough heats. But Joan Duru, he got a taste in his previous heat as well. His backhand has been stellar throughout. Good example right there. 1, 2, 3, big turn combination there for Joan Duru for Team France.
Big backside blast. You can see the difference between backside and front side. Front side, more kind of down the line surfing, connecting with the lip, but always trying to project forward. On his backhand, Joan Duru is able to really pivot that surfboard, as we see Kanoa Igarashi having a look at that wave that just runs away from him. So clearly we will see difference between backside and front side as we see Jeremy.
Jeremy Flores, a.k.a. J-Flow. Beautiful turn to start that wave, but it comes crashing down around him, has to jump off his board. There's Team Pura Vida, Carlos Munoz, and the Costa Rican squad. Now everybody on the beach, they're just surf fans. They used to be competitors or team staff members. Now they're all surf fans watching the drama unfold here in the grand finals of the ISA World Surfing Games.
So the high tide really pushing that wave closer to shore. Jeremy Flores grabbing his rail, hoping that he would have enough time to connect with the lip a second time. He doesn't. Joan Duru, pendulum, back foot, hard off the bottom, and another big blast on the inside. So 2 turns as opposed to Kanoa Igarashi's 3, but very, very vertical. We talked about the ability on your backhand to pivot the board and go beyond 12 o'clock. Well, he has done just that. Kanoa Igarashi drops a 6.67 for his last ride. And Joan Duru, well, this man has been the giant killer, quietly creeping his way all the way to the final, and now showing the world why he is one of the best surfers. A team of 3 stellar performers on the men's side, Jeremy Flores, Michel Perez, and Joan Duru, and it could be Joan that takes the win home for France.
Well, he's giving it all he's got. Beautiful snap there for Joan Duru. Another follow through. Now we see a 3-turn combination. Still going.
Oh, as the French would say.
Loving it.
Oh, mon Dieu, qu'est-ce qui se passe? What is happening as we see yellow having a look at this one?
Now flying down the line.
Quick pin
and we
drop.
go back to the right. Kanoa Igarashi now sticking to where his money making has happened, and he's up and out. Cannot wait to see the score for Joan Duru's last wave. It looked like the gift that just kept on giving down the line.
It was better than his first, and his first was incredible. This young man, hailing from the southwestern corner of France, surfs very powerful, fun waves in Leland, Osegor. He surfs La Gravière, which is a wave that is almost like pipeline, but on a sandy bottom. And he feels really comfortable on big, solid beach breaks. That being said, his backhand, Chris, you've said it time and time again throughout the course of the week, is lethal. You have any doubts about that? Have a look at that first turn. Tail high, up and above the lip. A second connection. Clean carve on the third for a very jumbly, difficult wave. He looks at the beach and says, yes, that is a score. Kanoa Igarashi, the difference on this wave, way more soupy. Difficult to surf, Chris.
Yeah, Kanoa right there. That was kind of one of the first rare duds that he's caught over on that ride. But Jeremy Flores caught a sneaky left-hander here. Opened up nicely for J-Flow.
You see how the wave on the inside now with this higher tide is kind of backing off, courtesy of the big swell that we saw the last few days of competition. It pushed a lot of sand. You think that the sand would get pushed from left to right of your screen, but so much water coming through here at La Bocana that as it fades off the rocks, it actually pulls that sand from the area of beach in between Bocana and Sunsal. It just basically sucks it back and places it on the right-hander that you currently see on the bottom of your screen. Kanoa up and riding.
Here we go again, winding up, down the line, building speed, beautiful layback, slashing turn, nice little slide at the end of that cutback. Goes to the air. Perfect.
Okay.
Frontside ollie, reverts out. Kanoa Igarashi is having the time of his life. And meanwhile, Jeremy Flores sliding off his board, 16:10 to go.
Here's something that is extremely unique to only a few competitors in this entire event. Talking about 256 competitors. Can you control the nerves? Probably a solid percentage could do that. Can you surf better under pressure? Do you need that pressure to outshine everyone else? I would say 0.0001%. And one of that surfer, or probably one of the few surfers that can do that worldwide, is Kanoa Igarashi, Chris. He's surfing better right now with the pressure on him.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. It almost is as if the pressure makes him happy, and his happiness equates to incredible surfing, as we saw on this wave right here.
So the wave was smaller. How do you like this first turn?
I love it.
Lay back, sliding the tail out, gets out into the open face, connects and flies. 180 degrees, spins it back around. That wave, for a normal, mere mortal, maybe you could have gotten a 4, maybe a 5 at the most, but he manufactured that score. You can see how he read this wave to perfection, spun that board around perfectly. His feet always dancing on the surfboard. Wide stands for airs, narrow stands for carves, and we will see a really big score as we see a 7.67 drop for Joan Duru's first ride.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what the judges do with Kanoa Igarashi's last wave. The opening turn on the open face, slid the tail out, adding some difficulty to that turn, and then just a nice pop. Boom. Wasn't an air done in the most critical section of the wave, but he did it perfectly. Just used the lip like a little jump ramp.
Yep.
Flew out into the flats, spun it around. Loved it. Loved both of those turns for different reasons.
It was an air done at a critical moment. It is the final. Half of the heat has already elapsed. 14 minutes left. Beautiful looking sets out the back. Kanoa Igarashi gets himself a 7.07 for his efforts. And we're still waiting for scores of Joan Duru's last ride. He needs a 6.07 as we see Jeremy having a look at this one.
Jeremy Flores representing Team France. Quick little grab rail bottom turn into a brutal, powerful backside whip. Another hard carving snap for Flores. He's back in this heat. A fourth turn. Viva la France. Jeremy Flores looking excited on that last wave.
As are we, Chris. We were hoping, waiting to see Jeremy Flores come back. He started off with a 3, backed it up with a 3.83. Nothing compared to the scores that he can put on the board. And now he is back in this heat in a massive way. Big turns, top to bottom, flow. And well, let's have a look at it again. Big bash, looking like he would have dug the nose of that surfboard after that first maneuver. He doesn't. Carves his way into the inside and then pushes water up and above the lip. No claim, because he knows it's not over yet.
Jeremy Flores has surfed through multiple generations of GOATs, as in greatest of all time. He surfed through the early days of the Kelly Slater era, through the Andy Irons era on the WSL Championship Tour, and now he's still surfing through the Gabriel Medina, Italo John era, and he's right in there, always in title contention, always seems to be, you know, a surfer that surfs his way into the top 10 every single year. The guy's unstoppable. And look, the performance here, he's still getting better.
Absolutely. As we saw that exchange, we're still waiting for scores to drop from Joan Duru, who caught that beautiful right-hander. His first turn was the best. A little bit stuck on that second, but nonetheless continued to flow through the wave all the way to that inside section. Connects 4 times with the lip, looks back at the crowd, looks back at the judges, claims it. Why? Because it is going to be a massive, massive backup. Jeremy Flores still waiting for scores of his best ride thus far. Reminding you that Kanoa Igarashi already has 2 scores on the board, and you see Team France, a stellar crew, came down with only la crème de la crème. Jeremy Flores, Joan Duru, Michel Bourrez, all part of the championship tour. We have Paulina Do, who arguably one of the best French surfers ever. She was able to qualify many years ago for the championship tour. She's alongside Vahine Fierro, who unfortunately bowed out of competition. She hails from another island. If you consider, you know, Joan Duru and Jeremy Flores coming from the Reunion Islands, Michel Bourrez and Vahine come from Tahiti, a wave-rich group of islands that will be hosting the 2024 Olympic Games in 3 years' time.
Can't wait. Can't wait to see what happens. 10 minutes and 40 seconds to go. Hiroto Ohhara, 2 low scores that he's going to try to wipe off right here with a big arcing turn. And you know what? You can't hold it against him. He's just surfed his heart out. That last heat for Hiroto Ohhara was everything to him in terms of Olympic qualification. So I can imagine what's going on physically and mentally for Hiroto. Jeremy Flores, on the other hand, battling back, trying to secure a 1 and 2 place spot for Team France. Joan Duru dropped a huge score.
Joan Duru gets a 7.27. Jeremy Flores also gets a 7.27 on his previous ride, but look at the way he surfed this one. Difficult, soupy section towards the beginning of the wave. Somehow manages to keep his speed up, getting himself another big backup. That first turn was beautiful. Clean carve, eyeing that section, floats above it. And well, that is going to be a very, very good backup for the man from Reunion Island. Scores waiting to drop for Jeremy Flores. Current situation you see on screen there. Joan Duru has the 2 highest waves of the heat. Jeremy Flores matched one of his rides but with 7.27. Kanoa Igarashi still focusing on these right-handers. Let's see what the Japanese can do.
Kanoa flying down the line. Big float there. That wave racing a little too fast in front of him.
Maybe the tide playing tricks on that right-hander, a little bit fatter, a little bit more on the inside. He's used to paddling out and getting those right-handers when it's kind of a medium to lower tide. Any reason why he would change his tactics right now?
I don't think he's going to switch it up. You can see how far he is away from the other competitors. That's kind of where he's been sitting for the better part of the last 3 days of competition here. He's loving that right. He just actually compared it to Jay Bay, one of the most famous right-handers in the world. And if Kanoa says it, I believe it. This guy has been around the world and back. He's been competing since he was 6 years old.
He's only 23. That's so young. You think of such a polished surfer like Kanoa Igarashi, and then think back again and say, well, he's only 23. He still has a good 10 years easily left in his prime.
Oh, yeah. With 8 minutes to go, we're going to be talking about this forever. History made here at the ISA World Surfing Games in Surf City, El Salvador. These are your Olympic qualified surfers. You see the list under the 2019 WSL Championship Tour. Those are all household names. Your favorite surfers probably on that list. We'll make room on that list. Leon Glatzer, Manuel Selman, Miguel Tudela, Luca Macinas, and Hiroto Ohhara are now qualified via the 2021 ISA World Surfing Games. Back in 2019, we saw a different story. That foursome, I just saw Ramsey Bukiam. He was looking relieved, happy. Everything has settled. Now we know who will be surfing the Olympics.
That third column, Ramsey, Billy, and Federico Moraes, we were pretty sure that they were going to be competing for their countries in the Olympics. Rio Waida, though, on the other hand, and Lele Usuna got the opportunity thanks to the results that the other competitors had at this event, as we see yellow.
Hiroto Ohhara, see he's gathered himself, and he's back at it, doing Hiroto Ohhara things. Sitting on a 1.97 for now, so he is in a combination spot, but that wave, that could get him out of the hole that he's been in for the last 20-plus minutes. So with 6.5 minutes to go, the Olympic picture is now as clear as day. Chris Cote here with Kale Carranza. The list we just saw on screen, 20 of the world's best surfers from all 5 continents. I love that the Olympics, in the spirit of fair play, has to have representation from all 5 continents on the planet. And I think that list we have is one of the most unique and stacked fields you'll ever see in a surf event.
Yeah, and that's exactly what we want to see at the Olympics. We want to see the world's best, the people that compete at the championship tour level against surfers that they have probably never, ever competed against. We have incredible surfers from Argentina, hence Lele Usuna. Indonesia has always been a superpower. Well, you have Rio Waida representing them. And alongside those countries, we also have Peru, who's coming down with a complete team of 2 men and 2 women. So the world will actually see surfing for the first time on a global scale, considering 3.8 billion people tune in. But they're also going to realize that, wow, there's great surfing in Peru. Incredible surfers from Japan. Well, Brazil's a superpower?
Kale, as a surfer representing a Latin American country, you are a former Mexican national champion, an incredible surf guide to your beautiful home country.
Oh, thank you,
What does
Chris.
it mean for you to see Latin countries with incredible representation for surfing going into the Olympics? I mean, this is going to be a huge story in newspapers from the Mexican border all the way down to the tip of Peru.
Oh, it is going to be massive. And Latin Americans, we tend to stick together as we see Joan Duru up and riding.
Joan Duru, Team France currently in the lead. And it's just good, clean, powerful surfing like that. That's got him there. Now he throws in some fire with the big backside air. Joan Duru's feeling it.
Just when you thought Joan Duru is all about power, he kind of throws something at us that we have never seen in ISA competition in the dying minutes of the heat. 5 minutes remaining. He does a combination of turns on the outside, sees that inside section and goes, well, I seen Leon Glatzer do it. I seen Miguel Tudela do it. I'm going to show you guys that I can do that as well. 2 big bashes. And how about this section? Beautiful rotation, back foot completely off his surfboard, and just has that feel for being balanced on a surfboard, knows exactly where his foot is going to land, and does it in a big way. Your thoughts on this, Chris?
Big fan of it. Nicely rotated, and I like that he was in midair, kind of almost out of control, looking down. His feet aren't even touching the board. He lands clean, rides out of it, pure joy with the fist pump. That is a rare show of emotion from Joan Duru. He's a quiet guy. He lets his surfing do the talking. And right now, it's speaking in volumes. Joan Duru off to an even bigger lead, 7.67 and a 7.27. But Kanoa Igarashi, he's going for the gold. This could be the wave. He needs a 7.87. Kind of a messy start. He's got to get to work here on the open face. He goes to the air, blasting the fins out, throwing spray to the sky. Big frontside reverse.
How is he
for Kanoa Igarashi? That was awesome.
How do you get better under pressure? How do you need that pressure to actually shine above the rest of the field? He said it twice in his interviews. He says that when he starts the heat, he feels like it's too relaxed. It's too boring. It's just like, yeah, anyone could win it. Once he hears big scores drop from other competitors, which is what happened here, he gets a fire lit in his heart, and with it, potentially taking Japan into the first spot. Beautiful. Tail high. Big turn. Unfortunately, the wave backs off. And well, let's get you updated. Joan Duru got a 7.13 on his last effort. You mentioned the messiness at the beginning of his ride, but nothing messy about that.
Yeah,
Chris.
from messy to clean in seconds. Kanoa Igarashi, always a performer, so consistent. His strike rate, I mean, up there in the 80, 90%. It's rare to see Kanoa Igarashi fall, and he's still firmly in second place, but Jeremy Flores now getting involved. Nice arcing turn for J Flo, representing Team France. Big finish there, lays back, stays on his board. Completed. That's a contest make.
That is a contest make. So Jeremy Flores wants to be in that conversation. He wants to take France into that first spot. Right now, at the beginning of the day, I should say, we had 3 countries fighting for that first spot. Japan, France, Peru. Portugal had 2 surfers left. They made it into the final. So it is all about Japan and France right now to see who gets the gold. And we will know in less than 2 minutes, Chris.
1:10 to go. Hiroto Ohhara currently sitting in 4th place. There's Team France.
Camille Boulard. We see Vahine Fierro. We see Jeremy Flores, his father. And well, they are looking at this heat very, very carefully. Currently, Jeremy Flores is in 3rd and Joan Duru in 1st. Japan needs to fight back. Hiroto has been extremely quiet. He got a 9 in his previous heats. He could get it again. He needs a 7.91 to go into the 2nd position. Jeremy Flores needing a 6.47 to go into 2nd. So as of now, Joan Duru, from the beginning of the heat, he has established himself as the favorite, getting a 7.67, backing it up with a 7.27, and throwing away a 7.13.
Full credit to Joan Duru, but definitely coming into this heat on paper as the underdog. Well, he threw that paper out the window. Joan Duru is 10 seconds away from winning his first ever ISA gold medal, potentially putting Team France over the top. And there you have it, ISA gold medalist representing Team France, Joan Duru, after surfing through 13 plus tough competitive heats. This French surfer, who added to the French team. They already had 2 surfers in the Olympics, in Jeremy Flores and Michel Perez. Now, Joan Duru has something to be so proud of, one of the few surfers on the planet that owns an ISA gold medal.
Wow, the surfing that came from this young man, 32-year-old Joan Duru, who loves to surf in southern France. That surfing, to bring it here onto the big stage and get 3 sevens in the dying minutes of the heat. Well, that last came in in the dying minutes. He was on fire from beginning to end with surfing like that on his backside, just so vertical. Kanoa Igarashi was right behind him, but just couldn't find the wave, Chris.
I loved that heat gave us everything from power to progression. You know, we did see kind of a seesaw battle up into that top spot until the last 5 minutes when Joan Duru planted the French flag in the lineup and said, I've got this, I'm not gonna let it go. He wins the gold medal. So excited for Jeremy Flores as well. He put on a great showing, hoping to help Team France get the edge over Team Japan. I'm not touching that math because there is a lot on the line for these teams. The illustrious team overall medals will be awarded in just a few moments after the final. So again, this is your heat recap. What a way to finish the 2021 Surf City El Salvador ISA World Surfing Games with a bang.
They fought hard. Hiroto Ohhara and Jeremy Flores got good waves towards the end, but they could not match those sevens that Joan Duru got at the beginning of the heat. This was a wave that just pretty much cemented the victory for Joan Duru. He went to the air, landed perfectly, and said, I don't need that score.